All right, the next step is we have to get into the chest cavity. And for this, you're going to need your scissors and your forceps, and you're going to need a pair of bone shears. You can find those in the cardboard box on the side lab. Now, to get into the chest cavity, we need to go through the diaphragm first. If you take your finger and you push up, there's the stomach right there, and then this big organ right here is the liver. If you put your finger, you can't get through there because there's a diaphragm. So I want you to stay closer to the front. Don't go all the way back. Stay closer to the front. And you're just going to punch a hole in the diaphragm. Just take your scissors. And you're like, I don't see anything. Just keep cutting. You're not going to be able to see under here. But what you'll do is you'll punch a hole. Let me see if I can pull that forward. There you go. You can see that hole. There it is. I made a little hole in the diaphragm. Can you see that? And then you should be able to get your scissors in there like that. Now just make that hole big enough to get your finger in there. And then we're going to do a technique I call the captain hook. So you're going to just put your finger in there like that. You can see it now. And then you just hold your cat down and just get into your first knuckle and just pull that forward. And what I've done is detach the diaphragm. And I'm going to work that along the body wall all the way back to the vertebral column. And you can see all of this is diaphragm now. See how it's loose? And then you can see up into the hole. So that's step one. All right, the next thing is you have to identify which side is the deep chest. We do not want to cut through the muscles of superficial chest. So here's the deep side. Just take all the muscles and flip them open, reflect them all the way. And that'll expose the underlying muscles. Now we're going to make a midline incision, but we're not going to stay on the midline. We're going to go 1 centimeter to either side. Doesn't matter which one you're doing. Just make sure you're on the deep chest side. Take your scissors, round side down, 1 centimeter off. So that's about that far. Tilt this towards you, about that far. So there would be center. I'm just going to go boom, 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 right there. Round side down, and I'm going to cut through every rib all the way up to the first one. Stay off the midline. And that last rib's always a little stronger. Okay? And then we have the chest open. You might see a little bit of connective tissue here. Just kind of push all that down. So there's the heart, lungs on both sides. Now the problem is this is real floppy. Every time I open this, watch, boom, it'll go back. I can't do any dissection. So I'm going to turn the cat this way so you can see that. And when you look on the edge here, you'll be able to feel first rib, second rib. First rib, second rib, and we'll be up by the brachial plexus if you remember that. Now we need to remove the tops of those 2 ribs. So I'm going to count ribs, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to take my scissors, okay? I'm going to take my scissors, and I'm going to hold my scissors the wrong way so I don't get in the way. 1 rib, 2 rib, 3 rib. In between 2 and 3, I'm just going to make an incision until I'm at the same height as the top of the brachial plexus. And then I'm going to take my bone shears. This is the fun part. Okay? Take the nose of the shears, put your finger behind there. Don't cut your finger though. And just feel the rib right there. I'm going to put the nose of the shears on either side of the rib, get my finger out of the way, and break it. Okay? Same thing here. You heard that one pop. So now that's all loose. Don't cut the brachial plexus. We're just going to take that little window right where we cut. We're going to cut that out now. And the bones are broken, so you'll be able to just get that. And you can set that aside. Okay? Now you can already see there's a lot of dried blood in there. You can see that's dried blood right there. Next thing we need to do is break every single rib. So if I peel this back really hard, you can see the individual ribs there. Okay? This is going to be tough by myself. There might be some dried blood in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just push all this, put it in my finger. I'm going to get that out and put that on a paper towel. There's a little bit more. Get that dried blood, put it on the paper towel. Alright. Now you can see all of those ribs in there. Now we want to break them as close to the vertebral column as possible. You see where it's real white in the trough? That's the center of the vertebral column right there, where the ribs attach. So we're going to take our shears. Now here's the mistake. If you're going to make a mistake, here's what you're going to do. You're going to cut them real high, and then it's not going to work. We need to make sure this window lays down. So I'm going to start at the bottom, find that first rib. It's right here. I'm going to take the nose of the shears and I'm going to stay real low. Watch this. I'm going to get in there, break that first rib. Where's that? Did I get it? Got it. Pop, pop. I'm just breaking every rib and I'm staying real low. Every rib, one at a time. Nose your shears in there. You can see I'm doing a little downward push when I'm close. Pop, pop. I want to break every rib here coming up. Ooh, one more to go. And I got them all broken. If I flare that like that, you can see now that'll stay open. So once that's open, all we have to do is we'll take out the lungs on this side. There's a video for that. And we'll start working on the heart. Have fun.